guys, I'm just gonna share the mistakes that I did, and a lot of creatives and a lot of agency owners and a lot of us who is starting out at our early stage. We do all the mistakes all the time. So the mistakes that I did is simply, when I started at my at my early age when I was 17, I started from scratch, and I started from nothing, and that was almost like I was knocking on the doors and approaching stores in my local area for website, and uh, and then I learned that just knocking on the doors and reaching out to everyone won't get me the clients, and that is something that I learned like in 8 or 10 months, and after learning that, guys, it's something that it was an eye opener for me, and uh, soon I discovered that I need to I need to have a specific target audience that I want to work with, and soon I started to started to knock on the doors of a specific target audience, that is like handicrafts, people who sell handicrafts in my local area, and I started to reach them out and ask them if they want a website or not. I started with just creating websites. So soon I learned that the websites that I'm creating with the clients, they're not just they are not actually giving something back to the clients, and that is something that I think every person who is into digital marketing or in anything related to digital need to learn very early, that you need to provide service that is affordable, sorry, that is that works for your client and that gets him the value that he needs. Okay, and here I would like to share a story that I had a client like few years ago when I started out. It was a big client in my local area, and it was a hospital, like it's considered a very big hospital in my area, and they reached me out for a website. So we had a meeting, and we discussed all the norms, and they asked me to do a website audit for them. They asked me to do a website audit, and they asked me to see what are the mistakes they have on their website and what can be improved, and how should they execute things, and what should be on the website, the UX and UX, UI and UX part. So I looked into that. I did all the research on my own, and created a whole audit and did a whole strategy on that. And I spent like 2 3 days on that particular website, on like what needs to improve on their website. And then I reached them out. I gave them the strategy, the whole audit, and then they said, okay, bye. We'll do this on our own. They handed over to their in-house department. So that was like really uh, a learning area for me, because then I learned that this is something I need to be paid for. I spent like 3 4 days for this, and they just handed it over to their inner department, to their in-house department, and said, okay, we'll do this on our own, and I think we think your prices are too high. So I think we all do that at the early stage. We all do that. So to to start out to this, I would suggest you to let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
It's visible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will just like to take this moment, and you all can use the chat box which is there. So if Vaiz is asking you something, then you can also use it. There's a question and answer segment also, which we can use. So you can ask your questions, and we will be answering them at the end. Okay, we can take them in the middle also, as Vaiz asked. Okay. Yeah, Vaiz, over to you.
All right. So the first thing, guys, like as you guys are at the early stage, most of the guys are Sahil, right? Okay. So most of the guys are at the early stage and want to start. And First, I would like you guys to suggest that you should have an impact on your mindset, and know that the value that you offer is not the deliverables you provide to the client. Okay. Know that the service you offer is not the website, it's not the logo design, it's not the digital marketing. Okay, it's not something that you can deliver, it's the solution that you're providing to the clients, and not every client get comfy to share it with you. And that's what happened with one of my clients. So I had this client who wanted me to create a landing page for him, and we tapped in. We had few calls, and we started the project soon. And I didn't ask him why he want a landing page. So that resulted me in a regret. So why he like when we were done almost with the project, and I asked him why he wanted to create a landing page for a particular, for his whole company. So he told that he had like he want to target investors to that landing page, and he want to use that landing page to pitch investors from different countries, from like Dubai, and from Kuwait and other countries. So it was like an eye opener for me, and I realized that this is the mistake I did. I didn't ask him why. This was like an opportunity for me to sell my services for higher prices, and to give my client the more value. Okay, how it was like, I realized that soon that uh, I was not asking the question. I was not asking him the question that if why he needs the service that I'm offering. Okay, so as an agency owner or as a digital marketer, you have to understand the deliverables like logo design, website development, SEO, videography, animation, whatever you do. Okay, it's just a byproduct of what you offer. Okay, it's not your like whole service. The whole service is that the impact it have on the client. Okay, like they are like the features of your service. Okay, your ideal client will work with you because of the value they get, not the features. Okay, this is something I think everyone needs to understand, because I realized that not all my clients were getting results, and all my clients were like they were leaving us after a year. They were not interested in our services. There was no advantage. There was no something like they were getting more business out of that website, or they were getting more business out of what we have given them. So that is something that I realized, and soon I started to give them the strategy first, and asked to have a whole session in which we discuss what their needs are, what is their business, who is their ideal client, and understand all these things.
Okay.
So
Why is your screen share is off if you're sharing something?
okay,
Yeah.
okay, visible now.
Yeah, it's visible.
All right. So, so this is something that we need to ask our client first, that what is the service that they need and why do they need it. And I want you to guys to understand that it is not the deliverables that your client want. And if you want to work with like big clients, the like CEOs and all, their main motive is not to get a good beautiful website. It's not to get something that really looks good. It's on the like it's the most least thing they want. The first thing, the most important thing they want is how it will satisfy their customer, and how it will bring more business. So okay, so that is something that all the businesses are more concerned about, not like how beautiful it is or not. Okay, things like that. And that is why changing your mindset from just as a service provider to a solution provider will help you to position yourself as someone who is different from someone who is different from other competitors. Because like today, like there are a lot of businesses who are just selling websites for 3,000, 5,000, 4,000, 8,000, 10,000, things like that. Okay, prices like that. They're just throwing their prices like everything. So that is something they are devaluing their services. They are devaluing their solution, and the client is not more. So that is what's happening in the market. Client is not interested in the solution, because if you tell them the solution, they thought that it's just a website, and uh, once the website is built, and they will just get the business out of it. It does not work like that, obviously. Like there's SEO and there's whole marketing thing, and also there's a whole thing about conversion. So this is uh, this is about mindset. Okay, so then there comes a skill set. Okay, so the skill set is simply you need to be good at communicating and facilitating. Okay, what do I mean by that is when you like facilitating is simply asking questions to your clients that are uncomfortable, and that most of us feel uncomfortable to ask to our clients. They are simply like, what is the revenue that you want okay this year? Or it could be like simply like why do you want this website? Okay, or how much revenue do you want to generate through this website? It could be questions like that. We all are uncomfortable asking these questions. We thought like this is so personal, but it's not personal. Okay, the thing is the person is trying to get a website because there is something behind. Okay, there's something that he realized that he want. If he don't have a website, if he don't get his website right, okay, so there's something that's powering that decision. So you need to understand that decision, and then provide the solution. Okay, so communicating is simply just articulating your thoughts in a right way, and simply just asking them the right question and driving the conversation in the right way. So it is which is more about the solution you are providing. It is more about the customer. It is more about the it is more about your benefits and all.
So, Vice, can we take one question? We have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So we have a question: how to reach our first client as a new digital marketing agency? I think it's a very basic question, but if you can answer them, I think it will help a lot of people around.
So basically, if you want to land your first client, there's simply not a secret, because what I realized now that when I started out, I didn't know much about the tricks and tactics and tips. Okay, so I just did what I knew. I knew that if I reach out to people and tell them about my services, I will get clients. If I reach out to 100, I will get like at least 10 clients. So that is something I knew, and I did that without knowing anything else. And now that I realize that I know so many ways, I get confused which way to try. Okay, and this is something most of us are like drowned into, because on internet these things are like everywhere. How to get clients, how to get your first client, and everything. Okay, and people are sharing their own strategies, how to get your own first client, how to get your own. So my thing would be just do whatever you know right now. If you know that you can do marketing, start working on that. And there's nothing like I cannot say that you like what I did is I reached out to the my local market, to my local stores, and reached out to them, and asked them if they wanted a website. And once I reached about 40 or 50 people, I got my first client.
Okay.
Okay, so if you can do, like, you can try so many ways right now. Like there's email lead generation, there is there's so many platforms online, LinkedIn and Behance if you're in design. Okay, so you can generate a lot of clients through your Instagram. So there's through you're creating your own by creating your own website. Okay, and market it. So if you have budget it is that if you have budget. But if you don't know, like if you don't have a budget, so I would just say just do cold calling. You will have to be persistent and get them in a meeting, and just do that. There's no secret.
Okay, persistent is the key. Persistence is the key. That is what I can say to the people around. So
Absolutely.
for getting your, I think, first client and then getting from one client to 10 clients, it's a different ball game. From getting to
Yeah.
10 to 100 is altogether a different game.
It's
Because
different.
yeah, a lot of perception changes while people are seeing you as a brand. So I will again insist everybody who has questions, you can post it in Q&A. And if you want to get in the call, I think you can raise your hand and we will get you in the call if you have some questions more. Okay, so there's an option of raising the hand also. So if you raise the hand, we will know that you are raising the hand and we will get you in. So there is a question. Can we take questions, right, Vice?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So there's a question. I have a business where we provide business presentation, making services to business people, and along with that, all the project making facilities to students. How can I do? How can I promote my business?
Can you repeat the question?
Okay,
I
you
didn't
can
get the last part.
click on the Q&A section,
Okay.
which is at the bottom. Yeah. So the question is, they are having a business of creating business presentations.
Okay. I got the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it. I have a business. I think in your business, like you have two parts where you're providing business presentations, making services to business people, and along with that, all the projects. So I think we can just take one thing from it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Vice, you are audible.
Yeah, I have. I think we can take one thing from this question, or we have to take the whole question.
It's up to you. You can
Okay.
answer whatever you like.
I'm not able to understand the second part of the question. You can help me out.
Okay, so I think it is for the students. So, but if you can answer the first part, that will be great, of the business presentation.
So he have a business that have a business presentation making services to business people, and along with that, all the project making facilities to students. So how to okay, I got it now. So they make presentation for businesses and for students as well,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So I think the best medium is right now for you is Instagram, and you can create an Instagram profile, because like a lot of businesses and young people are there right now on Instagram, and Instagram is right now is a really, you can say, low budget option, because for like 100 or 200 or 1,000 rupees you can a lot of impressions, a lot of views on your post. So I think Instagram would be the best thing. And one more thing that you can apply in your business, that providing free tips for students. Okay, free tips and providing free resources for students, that would be great, because the students most of the time don't have the biggest budget, and if it's better we can just do things for free, or provide resources that is helpful for students.
Okay, great. Another question is, what is your mantra for customer retention, and how do you create customer experiences digitally? So
Okay,
this is
that's
Rawdeep who is asking you questions. I
okay.
will
So
insist everyone to write their names from anonymous attendee to your name. That will be great, so that we can at least know who is asking the question, because most of the time anonymous attendee is asking a question that is not good. So you can change your name and then ask questions. Yeah.
so so retention, I think the best thing I can say is that provide your services not in cheapest. Don't get focus on the client, focus on the solution that you're providing, focus on his problem. Okay, just be a doctor for a moment when you're having a meeting for the client with the client. Okay, be a doctor and prescribe your solution, and after that execute it properly and provide the results to your client. Okay, don't just give them expectations improve. Give them results. They will like the biggest thing in my business that has increased the retention of my customer is just simply providing them results. It is simple as that. There's no secret.
Okay. There is another question which is what is the difference between marketing strategist and branding strategist?
Okay, so branding. So this is a like whole like very controversial question, and there are actually two big people that are still fighting over this question. But I will try my best to answer
So
this.
there was a talk where somebody said that branding should not be the first thing that a startup company should do. It should be marketing in the first way, and then you
Yeah,
start
right.
doing marketing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everybody who's
So
interested in marketing can go and check that talk, and it was said by a very big person, and so that is why there is so much controversy around it. Yeah, Vice, answer this.
basically, marketing is simply you putting out your word out there. Okay, I try to be very simple. And branding is something when you influence other people's feelings towards your product, service, or company. Okay, and feelings cannot be changed; it can only be influenced.
Very true. We have another question, which is, how can local businesses measure ROI of having a website or social presence? So it's a, yeah.
Yeah, so basically, a local businesses measure. So basically, most of my clients only measure their ROI, how many deals they are getting, okay, and how many are converting. So for them, it is like they are not some like whole big corporation, and they were not running some big ads for them, and it is simply having a like good website that converts the visitor into a customer and providing them the good quality traffic on their websites. It's simple, and most of the like local business that I have met, they only ask me the question that how many clients will they get after. So this is something that they only measure the like ROI through that area.
Okay. So at the end, if there are conversion of clientele, then it is okay. But then
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
won't
And like I
matter.
try to, give them, sell them, so like upsell them few things, but in local business things don't work like that. If until the local business is really well and they have like some really good, hierarchy, they have like a marketing manager or something. So that's a different thing there.
Okay. So Bhikshita is having a question. When starting out, how do you decide the pricing of your services? Should you price your services on the lower side or start out with the standard prices? So this is a
Yeah,
question which I
amazing
think,
question.
yeah, a lot of people have. What is the right
Amazing
price for
question.
the
Yeah.
thing that you are
So
doing?
what's the name? Bhikshita. Okay. So Bhikshita, basically your prices, I would suggest you should be premium right at the moment you start. Because it's not about you selling the service to the client. It's not about you selling the website to your service or like whatever it is to the client. It's about the results you want that you have promised to your client. Okay. So how it goes is simply that okay, like previously we used to make websites for 20,000, 30,000. Okay, the whole websites, and the most the client that I was talking about with you, the landing page client. So we did a like only landing page for him, like it was 3 years ago, for 30,000 rupees. Okay, and why we did that is because like we wanted to give him the quality. We wanted to ensure that the promises we have made with him is right on the point. And always the pricing is not an issue for with the customer. Okay, the customer always goes with the most trusted option, with the most secure option. Okay, they don't go with the cheapest option. Okay, if the option is just is cheap, there's no there's no security if they will get their, if they will reach their goals or not. But if the prices are premium, that you can hire experts, you can outsource your work. Okay, and hiring experts on a project is the most important and crucial thing. So if your prices are just higher and standard, I won't say standard but higher, where you can pay a good amount to other people who are actually experts in that particular area, so that would be great. Don't focus on just lowering your prices, to focus on the quality and the results you can provide to the clients.
I hope Bhakshita, this answers your question. Kaushal is having a question. Just out of curiosity, since Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn all are providing facilities to advertise to the clients, then what value does a digital marketing bring to the firm?
Okay, so what's the question? uh, FB, Instagram, LinkedIn all are providing facilities to advertise clients content. And what okay, okay, so basically, even in, if you see like FB, Instagram, okay, like LinkedIn, even they have two areas where people run ads. They have this area, standard ad runner, where people just run their ads in a standard, with a standard dashboard. And that is simply designed for people who are actually not very mature at marketing and all stuff. And
True.
then they have this expert area where actual digital marketer comes and do all the stuff and plans all the things. So let I have a story here too, but it will take too long. But I simply, like, I had this client who was doing all the things on his own. Like, he was running FB ads, he was running Google ads, and he was running Instagram ads. But he was running the ads from last 8 months, and he
Oh,
got like he told me like only one or two paying customers. That was like very bad, really bad. So then he, like, after thak haar ke usne, like, he contacted me and he said like, guys, we want to, and we want the website's not generating the results. So there are a lot of things that a company that a firm a firm need a digital marketer for. Like we did a like whole conversion funnel for them, and we did the we hired some copywriters, some UX designers, and all the stuff. And then we ran their campaign, and then their conversion rate was like 2.5 or 1.3. So digital marketer always brings value to the table, and but if the company or the firm is not able to understand, just move out, because they are not the customer, and it's a red flag of a customer. So don't work with them.
Okay. Prerna Gosai is having a question. The work from home scenario has changed due to the pandemic. How do you set time limits and communicate the same to the clients? So sometimes because it is work from home, clients also ping on Saturdays and Sundays, and they say, okay, घर से ही काम कर रहे हो, तो दिक्कत क्या है, Sunday को भी काम करना, those kind of things. So are you facing any of those issues just
Yeah,
now?
simply what I did, I just made my schedule online. Everything is online right now.
Okay.
Okay, I have used my Calendly and my Google Calendar, everything very very effectively. Whenever there is something that I need to set up a call or something, I have shared my LinkedIn, my Calendar links with all of them, and I every night I just get back on my link on my Calendly link, and schedule my whole day. So that is something that really saves time for me. Like I have
Okay.
blocked out for this date, I blocked out the whole day. So, yeah,
Understood. So I think using technology will always help in terms of,
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely.
great, great. Ritesh is having a question. Ritesh Sadhu. So he is a student currently, and he has good skill set. So what is most important to get clients with his study just now?
That's amazing. Like he is thinking to get clients. So basically, what skills does he have? I don't know.
Ritesh, if you can get on the call, that will be great. I will find out him. And Ritesh, Ritesh, you are allowed to talk. You can ask your question directly. You have to unmute yourself, Ritesh. Yeah, Ritesh, go ahead. Okay, we are not able to hear him, but no issues. So I think he's trying to get clients with his skills. So suppose
Okay.
somebody is working because a lot of students are there who are doing good work in colleges, and then they start to understand. Because I was in engineering, I used to do a lot of events, and after that, I thought, let me do some events for other people. At that point, I didn't do that. I was then floated to something else. But how do you get
Okay.
to those things? Suppose if that is the example that we can take.
Yeah, basically, like I'm just thinking, like Ritesh, I would just suggest you to do some your own projects, to start working on your own projects, and try to do cold callings. Okay, it will boost your confidence, and it will boost some of your sales skills. And try to do some cold callings and reach out to small businesses, not the big ones, because they obviously want to give the business, and it just diminishes the motivation and all. So contact the small businesses in your local area, try to reach them out, and if possible, create a LinkedIn profile and offer your service for free. Offer your service as a starter. Okay, so that way you can build some of your portfolio, and then you can reach out to some well established businesses and tell them that you have worked with them, and give them out that
Okay.
if they can work with you.
So I will like to summarize that in a one more thing,
Yeah,
that whenever you are in college, I think college students have a lot of free time. So most of the students say that
yeah,
हाँ पढ़ाई चल रही है, but
yeah,
they have a lot of free time. So utilize that
absolutely,
time in creating your portfolio rather than earning money. I think you should concentrate more on earning skill set. Okay, we
absolutely.
had a saying in our team when there was an intern in the beginning, and then he joined us as a full time. So he used to write on his board, learn. And then whenever we had a boot camp where we used to introduce new people, then he used to explain them. See, concentrate on learn. Okay, and then slowly remove the L after some years. Okay, so that the earn remains at the end. So
That's
that is
amazing,
something that
Rich.
I think for students it is very important. Most of the students
Yeah,
nowadays are concentrating on earning. Okay, हमें paid internship चाहिए, internship में 20,000 मिल रहा है, 10,000 मिल रहा है, 5,000 मिल रहा है. See, whenever you are a student, you have that liberty that you don't have that you don't have that expectation from your parents also to earn money and those of things. So don't drive into that direction of earning. go and get some good experience so that you know that this is the direction that you want to work in. So that is what I will like to
The
suggest.
best thing to get experience, without clients is to start building your portfolio, start working on projects. Even if there is no clients, start working on your own projects. That's the best thing.
Okay, great. Ayushi has a question. If I want to have a career in branding and advertisement, from where should she start? She is a marketing student.
Okay. Okay. So I think branding and advertisement. So basically, the best thing to if you want to get clients, or what you want to start, like from
So,
where to start from being a
Ayushi, can you ask? Okay, Ayushi, you are allowed to talk. So, if you want to ask your question in a detailed way, you can. You have to unmute yourself. Yeah, Ayushi, you are audible.
Yeah, I'm audible.
Yeah, yeah.
I just wanted to ask that I am in the final year of the marketing. So I just wanted to go for the organization which is dealing in the branding and the advertising thing. So from where I can start?
Okay. She
Like
wants to
which
go into
companies?
advertising.
Yeah.
So, which are the best companies in if you want to learn advertisements and marketing? So, she is a student just now pursuing marketing. And which are the companies? Ayushi, in which city are you
so
currently?
In the
Okay, she's in
okay.
Indore.
Ayushi, company, but I can suggest you a few books that you can write, and
okay.
I can suggest you an author that you can go to and read his stuff. That's amazing, and that will help you a lot in branding and advertisement. The name is Martin Niemeyer. Okay, and his book is ZAG. It's on branding, and then he has a book called Brand Gap. It covers branding and marketing, all the stuff. So I think it would be really helpful. Like he's a very big author in this area, branding area. Read his stuff, and I think that would be better than any company, and then just start doing all your. I hope that answers the question.
Okay. Yeah. So we have another question from Bhishma Parik. Is digital marketing with face model will increase sales faster? Is that the right way to spend rupees? Those for sales. Bhishma Parik. I think Bhishma, we will have to bring you in. And okay, Bhishma, you are allowed to talk. Please unmute yourself and ask your question again.
Make sure the audio is right.
Yeah, Bhishma.
Can you hear?
Yeah, Bhishma. Continue.
Yeah. Just
Bhishma, we can hear you. You can ask the question.
I can't hear.
No issues. Let us move on to another question. And okay, what do you think is the best way to promote newly established grocery store, or the ways we can market the store? This is an interesting question, I think.
Okay. So right now, I totally understand your requirement. What do you think is the best way to promote a newly established grocery store? So I think best way is to collect all the contact information in your area, and just asking them right away, because I don't think if you I don't think you can set up a whole online system right now at this moment. Okay, it would be hard, but just connecting with your locals, and connecting with means mostly in your area, and having their contact details would be amazing, because right now what people like we have these big kirana stores in my area, and we have this small kirana stores. So like those big ones, they were full all the time, even before the corona thing. And right now what's happening, the small ones, they have given on their contact numbers to every household, to
Wonderful.
mine and everywhere. So okay, so the big ones have ran out with the stuff, and the small ones, they are filled with the stuff. So we are contacting them to get us the resources right
Essentials.
now. Okay, so I think that was an amazing strategy, and they did it like on day first, like they knew like it's gonna happen that the big ones are gonna run out with the resources and the essentials and all. So just grab the contact details and start calling them, and or maybe just give them a message that if you need something, just reach out.
Okay. So our next question is from Rodeep. Can you specify who was the debate among? Okay, Rodeep, we will try to answer that afterwards. We may email you or you can ask us somewhere else. My question is to Sahil Shah. Anak, what influenced you to change career path for engineering to digital marketing? Oh my God. I think we are talking with ways, but I will answer that.
Okay,
So,
okay, you have to answer that.
yeah. So, see, I never intended to be in digital marketing, or so life happens. You don't intend to do a lot of things. So, I was after the college, I was in IIM Ahmedabad in their bootcamp where we were discussing design thinking and other things. And from there, we shifted to create a product which is now called Hungrito, which is a food discovery platform. We are creating a website and app for that, and we were into that. But luckily, people liked their Instagram handle a lot, so we got around 5,000 followers in next 6 to 8 months that we started, and that instigated us that okay, लोगों को हमारा ये वाला communication अच्छा लग रहा है. So let us now rebrand it. It was Bookers at that time. We did it in Hungrito. So we loved numbers. The initial team which was there loved just two things. One was numbers and other was designing, and that is still the core of the company. NetSavis, if you see it, the core, the tagline is there. It is fostering creativity. So that is something pushed us, and digital marketing was something that happened to us. Not, it was not intended as a team. It happened, and then we were luckily good enough as a team to do that thing. Yeah. So I think we can take one more question, Wise, and then we will close the session as you have to go at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. So which one? I think you can choose one that you would like to
Okay.
have. There are 3 or 4 questions.
Okay, so I think I will choose this one. How to code a client to get him converted if his budget is less. So basically, guys, this is something that I have dealt with a lot. So when with less budget, I would simply ask him like it depends on the problem that you're solving. Okay, the value or totally depends on the problem that you're solving. For example, I had this client who wanted to make a website, and through that website he wanted to generate customers, and his per sale was like 1 lakh rupees. So the budget he had was like around maybe 30,000 or 50,000. He wanted a whole website for that budget, and in like after creating a website, it's not just like you have created a website, people will just come on and they will buy stuff from you. It's just getting them on a website and then converting them in a customer. So we had to discuss whole thing that how it works and what kind of value he is getting, and then it was like he didn't convert it. The client was not converted because he already has the budget in mind decided. Okay, and for that purpose I would suggest you to work on creating your own target audience, so that you can understand for with what kind of client you want to work with. Okay, and that is why particularly we don't work with the local businesses anymore. That's why we don't work with businesses like who have startups and don't have a funding. Okay, and for that specific, because convincing the client is, if a client have already a budget in mind that is less and he want a bigger results for that amount. So you don't can you and you cannot just convert him in a customer, because he already have a budget in mind in his mind. So create your target audience, decide with what type of customers you want to work with. Okay, is it high paying clients, is it like clients who are focused on getting results. Okay, so that's why create a target audience that you want.
Okay, so I think one thing is I will like to suggest and add in this point
Yeah,
is,
sure.
if the budget is less of a client, I think it depends on your hunger also at some point, because few companies like us or as Wise is consulting, in our initial days we used to take those clients because we wanted that thing,
Yeah,
so
of
we
course.
wanted to
Yeah.
create that portfolio. So if you want to, it is all about on which path or on which part of your journey you are currently. So struggle
Yeah.
sabka hota hai, understand that
Right.
part. if you say bigger agencies also, this is something which we are seeing currently in the trend. Most of the bigger agencies are now moving from doing social media on day-to-day basis to getting growth. Okay, so that is the change that you will be seeing across the channel. So then initial things, the regular jo kaam hota hai, posting kar wo sab, that will come to somebody else. So remember, there is a lot of gap. Okay, so you can fill those gaps very easily. I would like to conclude this session as we have to do it at 7, and I would like to thank Vais for his time. It was a great session. I think mindset and skill set part is something that everybody needs to understand. Whatever you are doing in whichever field.
One more thing I would like to add, sorry Sahil,
Yeah.
is that guys, you need to work on your messaging. Okay, so messaging is something that drives your client into the funnel. Okay, so messaging is something that whatever it is that your client look at it and how he feels. So for that, I would suggest you to do gather everything from your website, okay, from your capabilities like social media profiles, emails, brochures, whatever you have, gather everything and then take a look at it, okay, and then ask yourself a question: does it something that communicate with my client, and is it something that my client to find his problem or his solution in it? Okay, look at that thing, look at the messaging that you are conveying through your website, through your social media channels, through your graphics, your images, your video. So that's